Alrighty, it is I've been saying January lately. I made a post where it was going to be January, but yeah, it's February 11th. 2 days removed from the Super Bowl. I'm doing okay. I shouldn't base my mood on what a sports team does, but I am joined no other than Matthew Kieper from the Flin Bombers of the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League. I've heard your name mentioned a few times. My dad brought it up, and then I've heard Kyle McIntyre on the Rod Peterson show a few weeks ago bring your name up. So I'm like, you must be a popular guy. Yeah, it's
Yeah, thank
awesome.
you very
Yeah,
much.
yeah, it's good. So hometown is Winnipeg, Manitoba. So you were born and raised there, but you have a grandmother who was from Russell. So that's my dad's hometown as well. But just kind of explain kind of your hockey journey. Born in the ripe old year of 2004.
hmm Yeah, no, I grew up born and raised in Winnipeg, and just being a Canadian kid, hockey's kind of something that we do. It's
Mhm.
just something we do when we get home from school, something we do before school. It was just, I grew up skating on backyard rinks with my family, and yeah, I mean, I've loved playing hockey my whole life. I never really expected to play at a high level. But it's just awesome. Just something when you do as a kid and something that you get to keep on doing. So it's been awesome. I just love the game, but it's every Canadian kid's dream to be playing hockey.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't change, right? And I remember when the Olympics happened in 2006. I mean, you were 2 years old. The future of Canadian hockey was at a crisis. They had the shambles of Nagano, and then 2002 they went in Salt Lake. But the new generation, like yourself, comes in, right? Like that sort of thing, and it's good, right? So yeah, that love for hockey. So who have been some of the kind of your mentors and role models?
Well,
Um,
I definitely say my older cousin. He's kind of the reason why I got into goaltending. He was a goalie growing up, and he's quite a bit older than me. So whenever I got the chance to see him and even see him play sometimes, I kind of just really took that inspiration and kind of wanted to do what he was doing. And yeah, obviously my parents are huge, and my grandma as well. Both my grandmas are very big in my life. So I feel like just I got a ton of people who support me every day, and I'm really thankful for that.
yeah. So do you have a lot of family that come up and for your games? I mean, you are in Flin Flon. It's kind of kind of the northern part of Manitoba. But what's the? I know the crowd support's awesome in Flin Flon, but
Oh, it's unbelievable. It's
yeah,
unbelievable.
I
I mean, the fans here are awesome. It's every game that we play at home is amazing. But yeah, like my parents, my mom's come up a few times. It's kind of tough with my dad and work and being able to drive up. But like when we go on those southern swings, like Yorkton area, kind of down south, it's pretty easy for my parents to get there. So it's definitely they've come to those games. And yeah, I think they should be coming up soon. But it's nice. I see them a lot, so I'm really thankful for it. They love hockey just as much as I do, so any excuse for them to come watch hockey games is nice, and it makes it better that I'm playing too.
Mhm. Yeah, it is, right? I mean, you were when I first talked to you months ago, you were with Swift Current,
Mhm.
and that process to get to Flin Flon, we were post trade deadline. So how did that process? I mean, you got there before the trade deadline, but how did that kind of come to be that you came to Flin Flon?
Yeah, so basically, just after I got released from Swift, I was back at home for a couple of weeks, and I didn't really know what I was going to be doing, kind of with my hockey, and just I didn't know what I was doing. I had no clue where I was going to play or if I was going to play. And Mike Reagan, our coach and GM, reached out to me a couple weeks and told me kind of about their situation here and how they wanted a goalie to come and help them. And he expressed their interest in trying to win a championship and trying to build the best team possible. And I mean, me as a 20-year-old this year, it's my last year of junior. So as soon as he said the word trying to win a championship, I mean, I was kind of all for it because I mean, as a hockey player, that's obviously the end all the end goal is trying to win. So I was super duper thankful that he reached out and expressed his interest, and I just thought it'd be a really good fit for me to come up here. And I mean, realistically, it's not that far from home, like compared to some of the other spots that I've played in my career. So yeah, I was beyond thankful for them reaching out, and I felt like it was a no-brainer to come up here.
Yeah, Flin Flon can definitely be an illusion to the distance because
Mhm.
driving from Winnipeg to Swift Current that's a long ways too.
Yeah, well, it's honestly like the exact same distance. It's give or
Okay.
take a few minutes here and there, but yeah, it's pretty much the same distance. But I mean, I will say like Trans Canada, you can't really beat the Trans Canada Highway. That's a pretty nice highway to be driving on. So it was definitely an experience coming up here for the first time.
Yeah, I mean it's you got the four lane going on, so it's
Mhm.
I totally get it, and always I remember when it wasn't always like that, but it's smooth sailing right to Calgary, so that's good. You guys sit in second place behind Melfort,
Mhm.
last year's champions. You guys were there. You weren't there last year, but you guys met in the finals.
Mhm.
Um, it's is it on a collision course again?
I mean, we hope, but that's obviously the goal is to get there and to try to win. And
Hmm.
they're a really good hockey team, and I feel like we're a really good hockey team as well. So I just really hope like we work hard at the rink every day and we try our best. And obviously, with a lot of the guys here last year that lost to that Melfort team in the finals, there's a little bit of a kind of I don't know like a little bit of that feeling where you want to kind of get back at them for last year, and being a new guy coming in, you're a part of that, like you want to get back at them too for obviously last year. But I mean, I'm just I'm just really we got to do our job first though. And I feel like if we do our job, we're gonna be doing all right.
I mean that series was epic. I mean they were up 3-0,
Mhm.
and then you guys won and then Flin Flon wins the two, and I think it ended in 6 games, but a lot of those games went to overtime, so very evenly matched.
Mhm. Oh,
What is it?
100%.
And what is it like being in the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League? I mean, in the MJ, I mean, Niverville to Steinbach, hey, that's 25 minutes. I may go pick
Yeah.
up a Tim's and won't affect my time, but Flin Flon to Estevan to Weyburn to Yorkton to Larange. I mean, you don't want to forget your skates.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, you get to know the boys a lot better, that's for sure, with the hours on the bus. And honestly, I feel like it just makes you closer as a team. Those long bus rides, especially after a big win on the road and driving back up to Flin Flon, like those are the times you remember about with junior hockey. And I feel like we have, such an amazing group here, such an amazing group of guys. Like anytime you get a chance to be on the bus and be together as a team, I feel like it just brings us closer. But yeah, definitely the travel's big factor for us, but I feel like just with the way we are as a team, it's not bad spending a couple extra hours together.
For sure. What are your being a goalie? My son's kind of been playing goalie for the hockey for his hockey team in U9, and I see him skate around the net and tap the posts and that sort of thing. So, what are your superstitions?
Well, I just did a thing here with the Bombers, and they asked because I don't have a water bottle on my net, and they asked kind of why, and I guess kind of one of my superstitions is I don't have a bottle on my net because when I was first a goalie, when I was a kid, I it got absolutely ripped right off my like right off the net on the ground in the first period, and I was like 9 years old, and I remember being super upset about it after.
Right.
So like picking up my bottle and then putting it back on the net. So then after that, I told my mom and I was like, I'm never having a bottle on my net again. I just won't drink water.
Right.
So I mean, luckily in junior, you get your TV timeouts and your intermissions. So I obviously hydrate there, but it's just something I've always done since I was a little kid after I got burnt that one time. I don't know, it's just been a superstition, but I'd say that's kind of my main one.
Right. Right. Well, that's good. What is your favorite rink to play in besides the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League, or besides Flin Flon's arena?
Gosh, they actually like the one thing that I've noticed is like all the rinks are pretty good in the SJ here. So I honestly like I only got to play in it one time, but I thought the Estevan rink was absolutely beautiful there. And we played a really good game there. And just I mean I was only there once, but the one time I was there, I thought it was really cool. And I also like Kindersley's rink a lot too. I think they got a really nice rink.
Hmm.
A lot of good stuff there.
Is it weird that Flin Flon is part of the Saskatchewan Junior Hockey League since they are in Manitoba? Does that make a difference, or is that just kind
I,
of touche?
I was kind of thinking that too, but then when you look at kind of like from a geographical standpoint, like yeah, in the MJ, like the paw is a bit like closer for sure, but if you look at all the other teams, they're all right by Winnipeg, so it
Right.
wouldn't really make sense for Flin Flon to be playing all those teams. Where here, like there's a lot more teams that are somewhat closer to us, I guess, if
Mhm.
that makes sense.
Yep.
But I don't know. I guess I didn't really think of that too much, but I guess from a geographical standpoint, it kind of makes sense to be in Saskatchewan than it does Manitoba.
Yeah. Most definitely. What is kind of your favorite? So spending all that time on the bus, getting to know the guys. How do you kind of make that time go by as a goalie? Is it kind of like they leave you alone like a pitcher that's pitching a no hitter going into the seventh inning or?
No, you know what? I feel like maybe before a game, I like putting in my music on the bus and I kind of keep to myself a little bit, play some cards occasionally. But yeah, the main thing we kind of do is just play cards and like, we have like a crib. We play lots of crib, which is a ton of fun. And, we've also been playing this game a lot that's called a wavelength. So it's like where you cover your eyes and then we pick a number, the rest of the guys, and then the guy who had his eyes closed like picks a category and whatever that number was. So let's just say it was a 10, and you ask the guy like what your favorite pop is, and you say Coke, then the guy would have to guess what number we picked.
Oh yeah.
It's a fun game. I mean, like it definitely passes by time, especially when you have like 10 guys and listening to what they answer. It's definitely a lot of fun.
Well, I mean that's good. That's awesome. How have billets kind of played a role in your life? Obviously, this isn't your first billet home. What kind of things have you come into billet homes where there have been kids or single parents or how does that look for you?
I First off, like every billet family that I've stayed with has been absolutely amazing. I feel like I'm the luckiest hockey player in the world with the people I've stayed with. Yeah, most of the families I've stayed with all have had little kids that have, honestly played a huge impact in my life. Just, seeing how happy they are every day and, getting to spend some time with them and be a good role model. It definitely means a lot, because as a kid growing up, when you had kind of an older influence in your life, you really looked up to them a lot. So I just wanted to make sure that I was a positive role model to those kids and, staying in their house, obviously, you need to respect their rules and just be a good person, like just around the house and help out. But yeah, like I mean, for all the years that I played, I've been nothing but thankful for everyone that I've stayed with. They've been truly awesome.
Well, I mean, that's good. So this is your third,
I'd say
fourth billet home?
it's like my fifth billet. Yeah, it's
Okay.
fifth. So I've had a few, but I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
like I said,
yeah,
they've all been amazing.
yeah,
And
yeah. It's all
that's
good.
definitely the worst part of junior hockey is saying goodbye to amazing people when something happens. Like when I got let go from Swift, it was absolutely heartbreaking to say goodbye to my billets because
Mhm.
they were truly awesome. And then in Regina too, and Kamloops everywhere with they were so nice. And it sucks obviously leaving, but I mean when you go to a new spot and you meet a new family, it's just you get to meet more people, more amazing people. So it's definitely all a part of it for sure.
Yeah, I totally, I'm nodding my head because I totally get it. And there's this high anticipation in August when they come. And then by April, if you've had them the
Yeah,
entire year, it's like, oh boy, you don't, yeah, yeah, that final farewell. I mean, that's tough. I think one time I wasn't
it's
good for
hard for
3
sure.
days, and I mean, they play a role. I know people that they go to their weddings and whatever else, right? They continue on that relationship,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Because at the end, it's about relationship and community. So how has hockey provided community beyond the game for you? And maybe you've touched on a few points, but is there anything more you want to expand on that?
Yeah. I just feel like just, like when every kid like growing up wants to play hockey, like every little hockey player, like they want to be playing at the highest level they can play at. So, just passing that forward and being a good role model to them is really big for me. Like I do a lot of coaching in the summer with younger kids and, I just feel like my goal is just to be the best person I can be and, just show them that you got to be a good person first before you become a hockey player. And I feel like it just adds a lot of life, kind of like just being a good role model in life. I feel like just playing the game is there's a lot more than just stopping a puck for me. There's a whole aspect you got to bring, and your character has to be good and everything. But I definitely feel like it makes you a stronger person. Just doing what we do every day, it definitely helps.
So, do the Bombers, do they have you volunteering in schools and stuff like that as well?
Yeah, we do a lot of community stuff here, and it's honestly amazing. I love giving back to the community, and especially a smaller community like Flin Flon here. It's a tight-knit town, and we do school visits, and me and the one guy on our team we coach once a week here in Flin Flon. So it's honestly amazing, and I love doing it. It's awesome seeing how happy those kids are and getting to play games with them and getting to shoot the ball around with them sometimes like oh it makes my day doing that stuff and getting to do it with a couple of the guys too and just ha smiling and having a good time. It's definitely cool and it's an honor to do that stuff.
Yeah. Well, I know last year we had a bunch of the Pistons over, and then my son he wants to go play mini sticks with them downstairs,
Oh yeah.
pads, and uh, just love that form of community and relationship. I mean, so that's big, right? Because those kids, and it's been said before, they look at you guys like you guys play in the NHL. So I mean
Yeah, for sure.
that's big, right? So.
Oh, 100%.
mm, So how does life look for you post career? I know you're kind of in the race, but any schools come knocking, or have you committed yet? I mean, again, you don't have to tell us everything, but
I honestly don't know yet what I'm gonna be doing. I'm just, I'm super blessed and thankful for the opportunity to be playing here with Flin Flon. And, right now I've just kind of been focusing on just enjoying my last year of junior and, trying to go as far as we can. Because I truly believe we have a good enough team to win. And that's kind of been my main focus. I haven't really thought about what I'm gonna do next year because I just feel like, right now what's important is, coming to the rink every day with a good attitude and being with the guys that I'm with right now and just making sure we give it our all is kind of what I've been focusing on. But I have a feeling like obviously after the season's done, I'm gonna have some talks with my family and, people close to me about what we think is best for me next year, but just as of right now, I love it here so much in Flin Flon, and I just want to enjoy every second I'm here.
yeah, yeah, and to that point, right? Like again, I'm almost 46, but yeah, the older you get, the more you realize you have to enjoy those moments. So
Yeah, 100%.
you're definitely right. You're right on the path because 2020 felt like literally 5 minutes ago, and now I have a
Yeah.
daughter who's like on the verge of grade 8, and it's just like and they grow up quick. Everybody grows up quick, and
Oh
and
yeah.
and again, you have to enjoy it because.
Hmm.
Yeah, it does go in a blink. So, I mean, that's good on you to be focused in and that sort of thing. So, I mean, that's huge. How have how have your coaches presently played an influence in your life, Matthew?
Oh, the coaches here, they they were the ones who believed in me at first. They wouldn't have called me and asked me to come here if they didn't believe in me, and I to honestly, that means the world. I mean, when someone believes in you, you want to do everything in your power to show them, what to show them. And, they really push us in practice, which is good. I mean, when you're a motivated group, I feel like having kind of that stern voice that keeps us going through the tough times and pushing us forward is really, really important. And I feel like just our coach, Mike Reagan, and our assistant there, Cole McKeag, have been absolutely unbelievable with with what they do every day. And I'm thankful again that they gave me a call, and I really take pride in that, and having someone believe in me, it really means a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, mo most definitely, right? Because yeah, they phoned you and they wanted you, and it's good to feel wanted.
Oh, 100%.
And then yeah, I mean, you get a shout out on the Rod Peterson show too. So I was like,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it's
interview that guy, and I know Kyle, you're gonna be and you are watching this when I will put it. Yeah, so I'm trying to talk, and we're recording. It's present. You get it. So that's awesome. How would you compare the SJHL? Like, I know it's a very physical league. Like, I
oh
know
yeah.
Nipawin came to play the Pistons here in 2018. I was like, that game one, like, I thought I was watching SummerSlam. Like, it was, it's a very physical league, and you know this. And I was at the
Mhm.
Pistons Flyers game on the weekend, and Winkler has bulked up
Oh
considerably
yeah.
on the
They
back
like to
end,
hit there for sure.
right? And that's how they want to beat Steinbach. But I'm like, they remind me of a Saskatchewan junior hockey league, like a
Yeah.
Nipawin, like a Flin Flon. So how would you compare the SJS compared to some other leagues that you've played in?
It's definitely a hard-nosed grinder league. Our team, we got a bunch of big guys that hit and move the puck really well, but also too, like our not so big guys also throw the body around. Like I feel like that's just kind of our identity to be a hard playing, hard team to play against. And
Mhm.
especially when we're at home, I feel like it's really intimidating for teams coming in when the first shift of the game we have two big hits. But I feel like that's like every team we play against, it's always hard hitting and it's grinding and the guys just
We've lost our connection. This has never happened before. Oh, shoot. Okay. No problem. Yeah. Okay, I'll enter you in again. Okay. Good. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Bye.
I'm
Hey, you know what?
sorry about
I
that.
took we went to. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So, you know what? I kind of equate this to going to Alice in Wonderland on Friday for my wife's birthday. There was an intermission. So that was a quick intermission.
Yeah.
That's never
Sorry,
happened before.
man. It just completely shut off. My whole screen went black and I was like, what the heck just happened? So I'm really sorry about
Okay.
that.
Yeah, I was on a podcast, a Casey's podcast, and my laptop wasn't plugged in. I went boom, and then I responded on the phone, and he goes, I said, sorry, I'll join back in. So it was continuing to record. So I think we'll be good.
Okay.
So yeah, we were off to a hot we were doing well here, but that's all good. So we'll create the momentum again. So players going into your building, you get the two hits, but that's every time.
Yeah, just every time, it's just a grind every game. Like, you got to bring your best every game because, I feel like this is a really tight league where kind of anyone can beat anyone. So if you don't bring your best and the other team's doing good, like it's pretty tough to get into that game, especially with how much momentum hits create and all that. And just, it's definitely a hard hitting league, that's for sure.
Yeah, it definitely is. And again, when growing up in Saskatchewan, as most people who've listened here, I remember. watching. I don't think I watched too many Saskatchewan junior hockey leagues, but I always like, well, the WHL, if that's pretty close to the SJ. And when people made it to the SJ, there was our principal's son who made it to the Flin Flon Bombers and Kevin Adams about
Mhm.
30 years ago. And it was like, okay, wow, that's a big deal, right? So again, a long tradition with the Flin Flon Bombers,
Oh yeah.
which right, if you go back to even Bobby Clark, I believe. So that's big. So yeah, you talk about the atmosphere in the rink there. Uh, is it true they use hockey sticks and garbage cans?
I honestly haven't seen that,
Okay.
but honestly, being in the Whitney Forum, it feels like there's like 5,000 people cheering when it's only like however many, like 800, 900, which is still a really amazing crowd. And yeah, it's my first game here was I was like shell shocked with how loud it was and how rowdy the fans were. And it makes you want to play really hard for the fans when they're getting super rowdy and
Mhm.
they bring that intensity and emotion every game. And as a player, it's an amazing experience to be a part of that.
Yeah. Most definitely. Is there a NHL goaltender that you kind of model your game after?
Well, I would say like just with my game, I feel like I play a lot like Mackenzie Blackwood, just being super athletic and I feel like he's doing an amazing job with Colorado this year. But I feel like my favorite goalie though, my goalie that I've loved for a long time is Darcy Kemper on the Kings. I've
Yes.
really been a fan of his game. I really loved watching him play when he was in Arizona. So he's always been my favorite goalie, but I feel like just from a playing standpoint, I feel like my game is a lot like Mackenzie Blackwood's.
Mhm. That's yeah, I mean yeah, totally. I mean that's good to have somebody that you imitate or model your game after. I mean, you always have to have some sort of person that you are kind of aspiring to and that sort of thing. So
For
who's
sure.
your favorite? So I think that would kind of lead us into maybe who's your favorite hockey team?
Oh, I mean, I'm born and raised in Winnipeg. I gotta cheer for the Jets. I've grew up going to watch the Jets play, and I mean, thankfully, like when they make the playoffs, I get to go to the whiteout parties now. And now that I'm a bit older, it's a lot more fun being at those whiteout parties. But I mean, I've always been a Jets fan, and my mom and my dad, my brother are all big Jets fans as well. So it's definitely fun when we're all at home together and the odd time we get to go to a game, it's
Yeah.
an amazing experience, and just getting to watch at home with the parents, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, it definitely is, right? Your parents would have remembered Solani, and then you've
Hmm.
got the Patrick Lonnie era.
It was pretty
What
cool. I
the
mean, they're
what
doing amazing. They're doing amazing right now, and I really hope they go all the way. That'd be a dream come true.
and when you say that, I can't help but think what Paul Maurice said when
Oh yeah.
Porter won the cup,
Hmm.
that they would win the Stanley Cup, and
Yeah, I was really happy. I mean, like last year when the Stanley Cup Finals was going on, I was really happy when Paul Maurice won. He's did so much for the city and the team,
yeah.
and for him to say that about the Jets is pretty cool. So yeah, it would be nice for them to get it done this year. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it definitely would. I mean, again, I've gotten to meet some of those guys outside of the hockey rink, and yeah, they're at a fundraiser event. But I mean, they all seem like really nice guys, and
Oh yeah.
it's the Culperfettis and the Shifleys, just down to earth dudes, and
Hmm.
they're just playing hockey. They're just like they're just
Yeah.
like every human being, right? So they always have everybody's got their stuff, but they're you know what they're good guys, and I would love it for the city of Winnipeg as well for sure. It's
Hmm.
good. How's your week shaping up? Well, I should have scrolled ahead what games you have this weekend.
Yeah, so we played Notre Dame twice this weekend at home. So Friday, Saturday we have two games against them. So
Mhm.
they're a team where we can't take lightly for sure because they definitely have some really good players on their team, and we got to make sure we bring our best. Like I said before, like if you got to play your best every game because if you don't, you don't end up winning because anyone can beat anyone. And then We end up, well, I think we head down south to Yorkton and Melville the weekend after, and then we got a couple big games against Melford after. So those are pretty big games. I think we have 6 games left this month or so, 6 or 7. So we need to keep the boots going and make sure we're playing our best hockey.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny after the trade deadline, post Christmas, it just feels like the league just goes right. It
Oh,
just
it goes quick, yeah, for sure.
it's
And
like just getting settled in, and I kind of equate it to
yeah.
college. Oh, that first semester, oh, it seems so good, and the second semester, it's like, okay, well, it's
Oh,
April.
it goes quick,
Yeah,
that's for
yeah.
sure. But I mean, that's exactly why we got to be playing our best hockey because
Mhm.
we got to be getting ready for playoffs and just kind of getting gearing down on our craft and just making sure everything's looking good. Which I feel like as of lately we've been doing good. So I'm confident in our team, and I think all the boys are confident as well.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Well, I mean, I was looking, I'm somewhat of a stats guy, but I refuse to kind of believe in the analytics to some point.
Yeah, for
Going
sure.
to in football drives me nuts all the time, sometimes. But
Mhm.
your goals against is 1.68, save percentage of 943. I mean, that's pretty darn good in my books. So
Yeah, I mean,
congratulations, it's awesome.
I give credit to my teammates. I mean, they're the 5 guys in front of me. They're the ones doing all the hard stuff. Like I said before, I'm just super thankful to be here, and I feel like just with the way our team's been playing and just with how structured we are, it definitely makes a goalie's life easier. But with that being said, it's our job to be able to make kind of that big save when a breakdown happens, but for 99.5% of the time, the guys are amazing in front of me. And in that 0.5% that I got to make a big save, that's my job to do my best to try to make that.
Yeah, and when you talk about that, I can't help but think of I should get flow hockey. I should watch more games, right? But when you talk about that, you are describing what the Jets are doing structurally as well. I mean,
Hmm.
they're making Hollebuck's job easy as well, right? So
Yeah, for
structure,
sure.
that's right. It just can't be one guy. Again, I've never coached a game in my life, but just by the the eye test, right?
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. Uh,
Yeah, you got to be a unit out there. I
yeah.
mean, I trust my defense and I trust my forwards and I hope they trust me, it's got to be that relationship between your team and when you're all connected and you're all moving as one, that's when your team really succeeds.
For sure. So the Centennial Cup is coming up in Calgary.
Mhm.
Obviously, that would be the main goal.
Yeah,
Uh,
it'd be amazing.
um, so
I
that's happening, and I mean that would be great. So ultimately, that's part of that process.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, not sure where I was headed with that, but that's what's happening. If the SJHL wins, they go to the Centennial.
Yeah.
Jay, they go to the Centennial. It's a bigger tournament. It's going to be in Calgary. I think they moved some stuff around for it to be in Calgary. So that's
Hmm.
supposed to be in Ken. It was supposed to be somewhere else, but they moved it there.
Hmm.
But I got to ask you, my dad had inboxed me and said your grandmother is from Russell. So what are
Hmm.
your favorite memories of Russell, Manitoba?
Well, probably just, being with my family on the farm. I remember as a little kid, my dad would take me out into the field after the crops have just been harvested, and I remember just running around as a kid, just feeling kind of free. And when I got a bit older, we'd ride the quads out there and have a lot of fun. And I also remember my grandma always taking me and my brother for a walk in town and just checking out all the shops and stuff and just kind of being a part of the community there. And we'd always go to church on Easter Sunday there when I was a little kid. So it's definitely I got a lot of good memories there. And every time I get to go back and kind of see all my family there, it's definitely amazing. And I value a lot of time. The time I spend with my family, they're all really important to me. So anytime I get to see them and spend some time out there is it's awesome.
Well, I mean, Matthew, I know we've just talked on the phone, but sounds like you're a pretty grounded kid that hasn't forgotten about his family. And I think family at the core is very, very important and
Yeah.
attributes to overall life success, not just again on the hockey rink. So I mean,
100%.
those are all great things.
Yeah, no, I feel like just, my family and all my friends are, they're all really close to me and I value those relationships a lot and I value being a good person and, I value just being with my family and, anytime I get to spend with them is awesome. I love all my family members, extended family, all my cousins, my friends, they're all amazing and, yeah, I really value them. It's important. It's important to have people that are close to you that
Yeah,
support you.
yeah, yeah. Because I always say, right at the core, you're a human being, right? Because at the
Yeah,
end of
for
the
sure.
day, we all need each other.
Yeah.
And that sort of thing. Whether it's parent advice, whether it's marriage, whatever, right? We all pick the topic. So,
Yeah, for sure.
um, I gotta ask you, as we kind of wind her down here, who are you cheering for in the Super Bowl?
Well, I see you got a Chiefs clock behind you, so
And a box, but that
I
was
was
that was a
on the box too. Okay.
that was a souvenir.
I mean, a lot of my buddies are big Eagles fans, so I didn't want to be the one guy to cheer for Kansas City while all the other guys are cheering for the Eagles. So I jumped on the Eagles train, and
Yeah.
it was I mean, definitely picked up a little bit towards the end, but I mean, it was a different game. I mean, I enjoy watching football. I'm a massive Bombers fan, obviously being from Winnipeg, so it's nice getting to watch some NFL games. But yeah, all the boys were pretty happy when the Eagles won on Sunday there.
Yeah, I tip my cap. They played a great game.
Yeah, it
And
was a good yeah, it was definitely they came out to play. Their defense was amazing too. Like they just got the job done and they don't ask how, you don't ask how when you get the job done.
Yep, that's exactly it. Refs help or not. I mean, they just the offensive line just didn't hold up for Kansas City, and at the
Mhm.
end of the day, yeah, you gotta tip your hat. If you look at it, Super Bowl rematches,
Yeah,
Eli Manning beat Brady twice,
he did. Yeah.
right? And so you look at that, you're like, well, Sirianni beat him, Jalen Hurts beat him, and they just had the blueprint to do it. So I mean, I think
Yeah.
the Buffalo Bills are wondering why. Uh,
Yeah, I honestly like that was the team I was kind of cheering for going into the playoffs was kind of the Bills. I really like Josh Allen. I think he's a pretty solid and just kind of what he does with the community. After like when he won MVP, there was a video of all the kids that he's helped in the past, and it makes me like the guy a lot because that's what I kind of try to do. Obviously, different levels. He's up here, and I'm might have to go down a little bit, but just the stuff that he does for his community and the people around him, really really kind of hits home for me, and I kind of really want to be like that as well.
For sure. I mean, I like that. I like that answer. And you talk about being a huge Bombers fan. So I had to wait a long time in my life before they won a Grey Cup again.
Oh, I got
Um,
lucky. Yeah, I kind of rated the
yeah,
best time.
yeah, yeah. Just like my kids, 3 out of 6 years, Bombers too.
Yeah.
2019, 2021. Is there a favorite game that you've been to for the Bombers?
You know what? Like ever since I mean, I was always a Bombers fan. Like in the mid 2010s, it was kind of rough for the guys there. But I've honestly, I can't say I have a favorite game. Like the last like 3, 4 years, I've been to every single home game that the Bombers have. I've been to like
Yeah,
since like when I'm home, because obviously like I leave mid to end August, so I missed the last kind of 2 games.
right.
So there's usually like we usually get to go to like 5 or 6 games in the summer,
Nice.
which
Yeah.
is awesome.
Hmm.
I, I love it. Like, and I see a lot of people that I know at those games, and we're all cheering for the blue, decked out in our gear. Just every game you get to go is just a good time. I mean, the atmosphere there is amazing, and it's a lot of fun.
It sure is. You sit east side, west side. How does that look for you?
Pardon? Sorry.
Do you sit on the east side or the west side?
Oh, the east side there. I sit on the east side. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Mm.
If you ever come to the west side, I'll show you where the cookie lady is. I did an interview with her.
No, I'm
She goes,
always on the east side. I
she
might
goes,
have to check it out
yeah.
now.
She goes, Steve, I'm gonna. So Lucille, I may run out of cookies. She told me. So we did it was 1,200 views. But I get to know people in my. But I like that, right? You talk about seeing the same people, community
Hmm.
relationship. So that's
Yeah.
massive. Do you have your Grey Cup seats? Again, I know you'll be. uh, I know the hockey season could continue in
Hmm.
some university, college,
Yeah.
but this is first time in 10 years they've hosted.
Yeah. You know what? I actually, well, since I have no idea where I'm gonna be next year, I might just be at home. I might
Yeah.
just be at home, watch the Grey Cup, and then
Right.
head out after that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, it would be a dream come true to be able to go watch the Grey Cup, especially if the Bombers get in for, what would that be, six in a row now? It'd be their sixth
It
Grey
would
Cup.
be, it would definitely
Yeah, we
be.
don't talk about the last three. We'll talk about the first two, not the last.
Yes. Yeah. Because now we're creeping into Buffalo Bills territory.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's kind of getting a little concerning. But I mean, we got to the dance 5 times. Like that's still pretty impressive, nonetheless, even though we didn't get the job done. Still impressive.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's the first time since the 80s that a team has gone to that many consecutive Grey Cups,
Yeah, for
which
sure.
which is awesome and impressive. So that's
Yeah.
all good. Um, was there anything else you'd like to cover, Matthew? Again, thank you so much for coming on. We had a brief intermission, but it's all good.
Yeah, no, there's a little break, but I mean, overall, this has been amazing. Thank you so much, Steve, for having me on. It's awesome. I thought we had a great talk.
Yeah, I did too. And you know what? I'm going to put it on YouTube after. And again, thank your coaches. I want to thank your coaches for letting you come on here.
Yeah, for sure.
That means the world. If you and I always tell this to everybody else. If you ever want to come on again, you let me know, and we can definitely make that happen. And I hope you guys make it to the Centennial. And that would be huge. And maybe we can have a conversation then.
Yeah, you know what? That's the plan then. That's the plan. I like it.
Okay, awesome.
Well, thank
Okay.
you so much again, Steve, for having
Thank
me
you.
on.
Yeah,
This
and
is
God
awesome.
bless. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
Have,
Take
have a
care.
good one.
You as well. Thank you.